Oh, Saturday sun, I met someone. A Miraculous Ladybug, Adrienette, High School Alternate Universe Fanfiction, Chapter 11. Tiki, Marinette cries out the second her friend picks up the phone. The redhead on the computer screen looks absolutely terrified. You took way too long to pick up, Marinette continues to complain, and Tiki just rolls her eyes. You were spamming me, she points out. And I only took like 3 minutes to call you, you freaking clinger. Her words are harsh, but said with love. Still too long. Anyway, since you finally have time to talk. Marinette takes a deep breath. She's still freaking out over being mistaken as a couple with Adrien, and it happened nearly a week ago at this point. I have so much news for you. Tiki mutters that she figured that was the case, but Marinette ignores the grumbles. So, I told you how me and Adrien went gift shopping and all, but what I didn't tell you was how we went out for ice cream afterwards. Ice cream? Tiki repeats with a raised brow. Yeah, and first of all, he paid for me, which was so nice and definitely not needed, Marinette says with a little laugh. And second of all, the cashier thought we were dating. So when he came to bring our ice cream, he called us a couple. Tiki looks like a literal bug right now. Her eyes are wide and in shock, and her mouth is hanging open. Marinette practically jumps from her chair and runs in a circle around her room, still in the camera's frame though. Whoa, is all she has to say. Whoa, Tiki continues. Marinette can literally see the wheels turning in Tiki's brain. She's trying to process the news, and Marinette doesn't blame her and gives her the time to do so. No wonder you had to specifically tell me over call. This is wild. In a good way though, right? She laughs a bit and Marinette nods vigorously. I think so, Marinette sighs. He didn't get all blushy or excited or spazzy like I did. Or if he did, he hides it way better than I do. But also, he didn't say anything about how we weren't dating or that. He just said thank you and left it at that, Marinette explains. Tiki gives a little hum, thinking about what it might mean. I still can't tell if he just went with it because it's just easier to go with what the cashier thought, or because he actually likes the idea of us dating too, or anything like that. And I'm way too scared to ask him or Nino because Nino will definitely know, Marinette babbles. Well, I think most people clear things up unless there's another reason, Tiki points out. That's true, Marinette admits. So maybe he really does like me back. Tiki snorts and rolls her eyes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we know that at this point, she laughs. And Marinette just looks down at her feet and smiles. It's established before that Marinette talks a lot. She usually has a lot to say and a lot to comment on. Adrien, however, is the complete opposite of her. Where she'll always look for a new topic to babble on about, Adrien only speaks when he has something to say. It's something she has really grown to admire about him. He doesn't need to fill the space with words. However, right now, they're both conversing about something fairly meaningless as their entire table watches on as in between their own conversations. It's amusing to them. Marinette knows this because Alia's expression is one of a sly fox. Still, the stares and questioning looks that the girls send her and the bemused expression Nino sends her, because, of course, he's the one that's still out of the loop. Marinette enjoys the conversation and ignores her occasional fluster. Already? Adrien cries out in surprise. Marinette just nods her head vigorously. Kim looks at him strangely and with the slightest bit of terror in his eyes. She doesn't blame him, because God knows Adrien's kind of scary when he's loud. Not so much as scary as shocking, perhaps. Either way, Kim was so not prepared. It feels like it's only been a week or something, he says with a shake of his head. That's how I feel, Marinette says. I swear, an hour ago I was staying up all night to get his 4th album, and I was like crazy excited. I didn't think anything could be more catchy, and then bam! His 5th one is my favorite, she sighs. Alia snorts. Their attention points towards her. That's kind of an understatement, she says with a chuckle, nudging Marinette, who playfully rolls her eyes. It was all she could think about for weeks, she continues. It consumed her, honestly. It was so funny and adorable seeing how loyal my girl was to her favorite rock star, Alia says with a wink. I was the same way, Adrian admits, and Nino nods in confirmation. Man, we could have been mega fanning together for a long time now. At least we're doing it together. At least we're doing it now, Adrian says with a shake of his head. Ah, what those words do to her. Marinette feels her heart soar like a bird in the sky and linger like a bee who's found the sweetest nectar to drink from. It's silly and it's cheesy and it's awfully cliche, but she doesn't care. Sometimes Marinette wonders if he thinks in the same flowery language as she does. Probably not, but she doubts he'll even judge her if he knew. Sure, Nino likes to poke fun at her, and Adrian has no qualms about teasing her either, but she hopes that he finds her more fanciful thinking of life endearing, or at least entertaining. She honestly still feels bad about never realizing he was around. Those nights Marinette stays up wondering how different things would be if she had just said hi to a random blonde boy when she was in grade 6. Would they still be this close if they had met back then, or would they drift away by the time college came around? Marinette thinks that if that was the case, they'd at least stay friends, especially with Nino around, but how would she feel like this? Would he feel the way that he does now, that she thinks he does now? 12-year-old Marinette only really knew how to be infatuated with a crush, not actually like a person for who they were. Odds are, if she knew him back then, it wouldn't be the same now. And honestly, Marinette loves the way it is now. Now she's just met him, and part of her is thinking that it's meant to be like this. Now that she knows him, they get to talk a lot about real things in life. They talk early in the morning, when she can barely open her eyes from slumber till late at night, when he's typing back with one eye half closed and the other buried into his pillow, typos that would make their English teacher have a heart attack. They get to mega fan over Jagged Star because, oh my goodness, she's never met another person who loves him as much as she does. They get to go gift shopping and gets distracted by strange, probably itchy sweaters. They get to go out for ice cream, and she gets to pretend for 1 second that they are a couple and everything. That everyone thinks that they are. She truly loves how it all worked out. Someone has a plan. They have to. I'm in, Marinette laughs, pretending that she didn't go through an entire existential crisis examination in her head. She's always in when it's involved with him. Alia draws with a teasing voice. She's fake whispering this to Nino, but doing so loudly so that Marinette gets a hint. Marinette glares at her, not sure if her friend means him as in Jagged Stone or him as in Adrian. She's partially ashamed to say that either one could genuinely be a valid argument. Hush, Marinette laughs. Me too, Adrian replies, and she looks at him, and she swears she sees stars in his eyes. The joys of the school day wears off when Marinette is currently getting a major tongue lashing from Tiki for being a nervous fool. She doesn't blame the redhead, not in the slightest, but is she gonna do the one thing that would actually end this entire debacle? Definitely not, or at least not anytime soon. She knows she's a coward about this, but she's accepted it, for better or for worse. You idiot! Tiki cries out, but with love. You've got to tell him, or else you're stuck in some dumb little limbo thing forever. You have to define the relationship, not just leave it hanging, she says. But Alia and Nino are happy as ever. Marinette points out, and Tiki just lets out an angry groan. Marinette has to hide her smile because she's really just pushing Tiki's buttons for the fun of it. They aren't boyfriend and girlfriend, and they aren't dating. They're just together, and at this point the whole school knows. Because they had a talk about it and chose not to label anything. Tiki rolls her eyes. No, see, that sounds scary, Marinette laughs. And going out on what basically is a date and where you get mistaken for a couple isn't? Tiki raises a brow. Marinette ducks her head out of the camera frame, making the former laugh. Come on! He's your friend. He's understanding. I don't think you'd lose him as a friend if things went awry. There's literally nothing to lose if nothing's going to change for the worse. Best thing to happen is, and the most likely thing, is that he likes you back. The worst thing is that you guys are best friends throughout the rest of high school and maybe even longer. How awful does that sound? She hums. Marinette sighs. Not awful, she admits. Exactly, Tiki smiles. You have nothing to fear. Tiki makes a good point. In fact, she makes a spot-on point. Marinette isn't in danger of losing Adrian in her life, and the only thing that could happen is him being more involved, not less. Marinette can admit, or at least the rational side of herself can admit, her lovesick puppy dog brain is freaking out over the prospect of him not liking her back. But is it really that big of a deal? So what? One boy doesn't want to kiss her. It's not the end of the world. I think I'll tell him then, Marinette says in a quiet voice. There's a shy smile on her face and Tiki lights up by the news. That's my girl. Be brave and be strong, she says, blowing her a kiss. I will.